You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello and welcome to episode 296 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Well, hello gang, welcome back to the show. It's been a couple weeks since I've recorded an episode, and I've got to tell you, it's getting really difficult to come up with new and exciting ideas. So I almost skipped this week, but that means next week's episode would be 3 weeks between the last one, and I don't like to go more than 2 weeks between recordings. What did I do? I dived deep into the archives. I didn't even dig deep into the archives of the Soul Forge podcast. I dug deep into the archives of the Rusted Robot podcast, which was my very first podcast. And you're going to listen to episode 32 of that podcast. And what was that all about? Well, it was about time travel. Specifically, I had a t-shirt that had a clock on it, and each hour hand of the clock was a different method of time travel from pop culture. That was that episode. I did it with my then wife Bridget at the time. Well, obviously she was my wife at the time because we've been divorced since 2018. You've heard that on previous episodes of this podcast. I believe episode 51 was the divorce episode. But like I said, I can't think of any topics that I haven't already covered. Maybe if you guys and girls out there in podcast land have some ideas for me, that would be amazing. You can send them, you can send them to the email, which is soulforgepodcast@gmail.com. You can probably tweet me, not that I ever look at the Twitter account or whatever they're calling it these days. But the fact is, this was a great episode, all about different things of time travel. That episode 32 was 118 minutes. I've significantly cut it down. It's more manageable, more of a Soul Forge type episode. But it's funny because it was recorded in July of 2014. So not only is it an episode about time travel, I'm traveling back 9 years since we did that episode. So you'll be traveling back in time with me as you listen to time travel movies and methods. So what I hope for all of you out there in podcast land is that you get a kick out of the chemistry that Bridget and I shared, and it was a different time in my life. Yes, a different time, obviously, since we're talking about time travel. If I could go back in time, I would tell myself a lot of different things. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's an entire episode that I could do another time. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that would have been a good idea. Going back in time and telling yourself different things. Maybe that'll be a future episode. But like I said, I hope you enjoy what this was. If you've listened to the Rusted Robot podcast in the past, maybe this will be a hit of nostalgia for you. If you've never listened to it, there are about 150 episodes of that podcast on my YouTube channel, which is just under my name, Sean Vanderloo. I think it's also Rusted Robot Toys. I think I've been able to change it over there. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, I would love for you to subscribe to it. I need some more subscribers, more listeners, more viewers, whatever it is. But there's lots of weird stuff on there, so maybe don't go check it out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What I'm going to do is play a promo for another podcast here on the ESO Network, and then just go right into that episode. And, of course, it's going to fade out at the end because, well, I'm getting rid of pretty much half the episode because there's lots of stuff in there that's not really relevant. So hope you'll enjoy this. Maybe leave some feedback. Maybe put a 5-star review in the podcatcher of your choice. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other and enjoy this nostalgic look at the past.
People keep asking, are we back? Yeah, I guess we're back. back to talk about cigars, movies, TV shows, and any other nerdy topics here on the Cigar Nerds Podcast. Check us out on cigarnerdpodcast.com and esonetwork.com. And we have a YouTube channel at Cigar Nerd Podcast, where we do cigar reviews, live versions of the show, and any other dumb thing we think to record.
Okay, so this is episode 32, and we've decided to do it on time travel.
That's right. Either we've done this episode before, or we're going to do it again, or it's already been done.
Or we're changing the course of our future right now.
Or is it all history?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. So where did we come up with this idea? And that's pretty much what we're going to talk about on this episode. Like, this is just a quick and dirty...
time travel episode.
Right. I mean, there's no pussyfooting around when it comes to time travel.
That's serious business.
It is.
It really is. So I guess the idea came from all the podcasts that I listened to. I came into podcasting...
Because you feel like you're in a time warp?
Sometimes. Because you know why?
Why?
I'm a mailman, right?
Tell me.
Okay. And I listen to podcasts while I'm delivering the mail. And ignoring all my customers.
Yes.
Right. So...
as you should, looking angry with your headphones in.
That's right.
And avoiding animals.
And people and traffic.
Hey, we see a lot of groundhogs around, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Like when you're delivering the mail. We saw one at McDonald's the other day.
That's right.
Groundhog Day.
Is a time travel loop movie. Time loop movie. Not time travel.
It's not time travel. No, it's a loop.
Yeah.
Time loop.
Time loop.
Does that count?
It does.
Because time is affected?
That's right. We'll throw it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I listen to podcasts all day while I'm walking. And of course, I came to podcasts late. I've only been listening for a couple of years. So I go back and I listen to the older episodes. And sometimes the people talk about things that happened to them. Like when they're recording it, of course, it's the present for them, right? So so-and-so just watched, say a movie from 2010. What's a good movie from 2010? Can you think of one?
Off the top of my head?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so let's go back to 2009, and the Star Trek movie reboot is coming out.
Okay.
Okay.
And people are like anticipating.
And they're excited for it, and they're talking about it, and it's coming up. And of course, I'm listening in 2013 or 2014. And I already know what's going to happen.
You're not sure what year it is? You just said 2013, 2014.
Well, it depends on when I listen to the episode. See, that's in the past, when I listen to those episodes. But maybe I'm listening to another podcast this year, and they're talking about the same thing. See how that works?
Are you confused in your time?
Nope.
Do you know what year it is?
Oh, I know where I am. It's 2017, right?
No. I'm afraid you're mistaken.
This is not episode 482?
No, it isn't.
Oh.
No.
Where are we?
32.
32. Okay, yes.
We're still little podcast babies.
Right, we've just started recently.
Maybe like one day we'll look back at our like past episodes and we'll hear ourselves talk about being podcast babies.
Maybe.
And laugh and laugh.
That's right.
Anyhow.
So yeah, I listened to the podcast and the older episodes, and I got the idea of like, you know what? If I could scream at these people through time and tell them, hey, don't go see that movie. It's really horrible. I'm not talking about the Star Trek movie, just a movie in particular. Or I remember one time, last year, I was listening to Treks and Sci-Fi, and he was talking about buying an HD DVD player. I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before.
Oh, and like don't go do that because HD DVD doesn't win and Blu-ray wins and the whole bit.
Right, and he'd spent all this money on buying the system and
upgrade for your Xbox.
Right, yeah. So he bought all this stuff, and then a few months go by, and I'm listening to it, and he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that." You know? So I was thinking it's kind of like time travel, listening to older episodes.
It is.
So,
then you wore this shirt.
Yeah, T-Fury. Shout out to you guys, tfury.com. New t-shirt every 24 hours.
And this one in particular was called Time Warp.
Time Warp. Came out January 25th, 2012 is when I bought it.
Nice.
That's what it said on YouTube when I looked it up.
Well, that's been a little while then.
I've had this shirt for
2.5
years.
Your shirt looks in pretty good shape.
It is. I haven't worn it that much, I guess.
You've worn it enough. I've seen you wear it.
Well, I have.
Enough. It's earned its keep. For sure.
It has.
Well, what it is that it's all warpy, clocky thingy in the middle that says, let's do the time warp again into the vortex.
And it's got about, what would you say, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, it's a clock. It's a clock. That's very clever, actually, yes, because it does have the minute and the hour hand. So it's got 12 different time travel methods on the shirt.
What time is it on the time travel clock? Is it 1 o'clock?
Oh, it's 1 o'clock.
It's DeLorean o'clock.
Yeah, so
let's talk
about different methods of time travel?
At the top of the hour. What's at the top of the hour?
Well, that would be the TARDIS.
The TARDIS.
Because it's not only a spaceship, it's a time machine.
It goes through space and time.
TARDIS. What's it stand for?
Something.
Time and relative dimensions in space.
Yes.
You knew that, right?
Of course I did.
I know.
Of course I did.
So that's the Doctor's time machine, spaceship, traveling pod.
Yeah, but you find, like, he did... Okay, he took Rose back to the time where her dad died, but he couldn't really take her back again. You remember how, like, she wanted to keep doing it and stuff? Like, there was a danger.
You can't cross your own time path.
Right, you can't, like, cross yourself.
Right.
Again, which is, I guess, why he never runs into himself, I suppose.
Except for in that episode.
But he's a Time Lord, so he can't run into himself?
See, I'm not, it's very...
Time Lords see things differently than regular people.
That's right. Time travel is very complicated.
It is. Yes. Let's just get that out there.
Well...
That's fact.
That's a given. That's rule number 1 of time travel. It's complicated.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So, the TARDIS, I guess you don't really see him enter any buttons, like, as far as let's go to this specific time.
No, he throws his levers and there you are.
Hey, Edie, where did we end up today?
The year 5 billion, or sometime in Venice, or anywhere, really.
But do they really only discover it when they open the door? Like, the Doctor doesn't know where he's stepping off? And how does he know that he's landed somewhere properly because he trusts his ship?
You know what? I'm not sure of that aspect.
You know what I mean?
We need to talk to a Doctor Who expert.
We do, about this.
Yeah, so any listeners who are Doctor Who experts, if you'd like to write us in, let us know.
Well, we've got some making up to do, though. Like, we haven't even gotten up to date or anything yet.
No, we're still in, season 5 of New Who?
Yeah.
Because we just finished off season 2 of Orange is the New Black, and we've been binging through Arrow.
We have been binging, which is a lot like Batman.
I think we have 4 episodes left of season 1.
It's very good, though.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
But that's
not time travel.
That's for another time.
Yeah. So
you see what I did there?
I do. Oh, that's your phone. Very nice. So at 1 o'clock, what do we have?
We have the DeLorean.
And the DeLorean is a time machine from which movie series?
Oh, Back to the Future.
That's correct.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. So the DeLorean worked off of this thing that the Doctor had made up. No, not the same Doctor.
Doc Brown.
Right. Called the flux capacitor.
That's right.
That's what makes it work.
With plutonium.
Yes. Is it the second one that uses trash?
You know what? I haven't seen that.
I mean, he pissed off the Germans, the Russians. Somebody's after him in the beginning.
Somebody with accents, eh?
Oh, I don't remember. It's been so long.
I think we need to rewatch those. I have them on Laserdisc.
The Back to the Futures?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's been probably 4 or 5 years since I've seen those.
That's sad.
I think we have to do a...
And so, Marty McFly has to get to 1.21 gigawatts before, like, the flux capacitor will do a magical thing to take him back. Or whatever. But they actually put in a date in the dash.
Yes.
Like, I want to go to this specific time.
That's right.
And then you see that dashboard on Facebook every once in a while. Today's the date that he goes to. And it's never the right one.
Right.
What is the real date that he goes to?
I don't remember.
That's something to look up.
Right.
Fans are screaming at us right now.
Yes, they are.
Hey!
Guys.
This is the date that they go back to.
Such and such. I know it's 1985, isn't it? For one of them. And they go back.
Oh, no, that's the date he leaves.
But he has to go back to 85. And then he goes to 1955. Then he goes to the Old West. Then he goes to the future, which I think is 2015.
Is it?
Yeah. That's when he has the hoverboard and the lace-up sneakers. That's next year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That date that he goes to in the future, which is next year sometime or whatever. What's that date? And you always see that dashboard picture on Facebook saying, hey, it's today, but it never is.
And who pays attention to that?
I don't know. I think it's funny, though.
It is. It is.
All right. So, that is the DeLorean. Coolest time-traveling method ever.
That's right.
Now, what do we have in 3 o'clock slot?
How about the 2 o'clock slot, since that's next?
Actually, you know what?
What's that?
I heard that what if the flux capacitor was an infomercial? What would that sound like?
That's a good question.
Let's take a listen.
Do we have a clip?
I think we do.
Let's do a clip.
Okay.
AMC wonders, what if Back to the Future were an infomercial? Tired of living in the present?
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
Then you need Doc Brown's flux capacitor.
This is what makes time travel possible. I'll show you how it works. This readout tells you where you're going. This one tells you where you are. This one tells you where you were. You input your destination time on this keypad. I've always dreamed of seeing the future, looking beyond my years, seeing the progress of mankind.
Order Doc Brown's flux capacitor today. Just $19.95 plus shipping and handling. And keep watching AMC's Can't Get Enough Back to the Future. All 3 movies every night this week.
We're sending you back to the future.
Okay, so that's what it would sound like if the flux capacitor was an infomercial.
That's thanks to AMC channels.
AMC Productions?
AMC
Enterprises?
Not movie theater. and not AMC, the car manufacturer from the 60s.
I don't know, the people who make...
The Walking Dead.
Well, of course.
Yeah, those guys. That AMC.
It's the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flux capacitor, though, it just looks like a Y in a box, you know? Blinking lights and stuff.
Blinking lights?
Blinking?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the 2 o'clock slot on the time travel clock, I suppose is what we can call it.
We'll call it the time travel clock.
Okay, that is the Sands of Time dagger.
Right, from Prince of Persia, the video game.
Yeah, I think, like, when he has it, I haven't played a whole lot of Prince of Persia. I'm going to be perfectly honest here. But I think when he has it, you can, like, slow down time or rewind time, like 5 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever it is. Like, you can't do, like, a whole bunch, but, like, you can make, I'm saying, like, a lot. You can, if you accidentally, like, fall off the cliff, you can rewind and, oh, look at me, I didn't fall off.
Right, something like that.
And you have, like, a certain limit that you can use that. Like, you can't keep using it over and over and over again.
I think I played it once half a dozen years ago or more.
Prince of Persia?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and I never saw the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal or however you say his last name.
No, me neither.
I don't think anybody saw that movie.
You don't think so?
No. I know the...
Somebody saw it. Prince of Persia fans saw it.
Well, maybe.
Well, even then, I think.
I know they were selling the action figures for the movie at Zeller's before it closed out for like $2 a piece, and there was tons, and nobody bought them. I didn't even buy them, and I love figures.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So moving right along, on the 3 o'clock dial, what do we have there?
We've got the time machine, like the time machine.
From H.G. Wells. The Time Machine.
So the Time Machine.
From the movie from the 60s.
The thing with the big, like, umbrella in the back or whatever.
As seen on an episode of The Big Bang Theory a few years ago.
That's what they bought.
That's right. The prop from the movie.
They bought it, and wasn't it like a timeshare?
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Between the 4 of them.
Yeah.
And they had it in Sheldon and...
Leonard's
apartment, and they didn't know how they were going to switch it around between the 4 of them because the thing weighed a ton. Well, obviously, it's huge.
Right.
What is that, like a theater seat? With like a sleigh around it. What the heck?
Yeah, kind of.
They really went a little on the stretch of the imagination when they decided they were going to build this thing. And
now, did I make you watch that movie?
Of course you did.
I did.
Make me.
Well, get you to.
You tied me up to the chair.
Introduced you to it when we first got together?
Held my eyeballs open. Yes.
Yeah. Now, that was a good movie.
Because we wanted to watch classics together. Now, we never got to do Casablanca yet.
No.
But we did The Time Machine. We did...
Forbidden Planet.
Yeah.
We watched Spartacus.
Yes. Did I fall asleep?
Yeah, you did.
I did. But, yeah, that was one of the first ones that we watched.
Yeah.
Together.
So with this one here, he switches his dials, and he's got all
Doesn't
kinds
he go,
of...
like, way too far back?
Well, at first he goes back.
You don't want to spoil it for anybody.
No, I can't remember.
He goes, like, way too far back, though.
He goes back and he goes forward. He goes way forward, like into the year 800,000 or something.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'm thinking the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my goodness, I've gone way too far.
Fantastic movie. One of my favorites. Classic movies. It's really good.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I recommend it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit slow by today's standards, mind you.
No, I really liked it.
But it's good.
I really liked it.
Yeah, I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Now they did a remake of a number of years ago with Guy Pearce.
Okay.
I couldn't even watch it.
Aw, really?
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
Well, that's the thing about classic movies. Is you can't try and duplicate them or like reboot them. That just doesn't work.
That's right.
It doesn't work.
That's right.
So who do we have on the 4 o'clock?
That would be the time toaster from The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode 5.
That's their Halloween specials that they do every year.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure what that is exactly. Like, does he have his hand stuck in a toaster and it sends him back in time or something?
Well, I'm not sure. I never watched it.
Oh, we're really making people angry right now.
Well, we're just explaining what's on the shirt and our limited knowledge. Like, we watched a couple YouTube clips of it, and he had his hand in the toaster, and he was freaking out.
But I used to watch The Simpsons religiously.
Oh, me too, but
Jeez. Come on, you can't do it. They're 22? How many seasons are they at now?
Oh, geez. Well, it came out in 87, 88 on the Tracy Ullman show. So,
are you serious?
So even if it came out in 1990, that's still 24 years now. So 25, 26 seasons, I guess.
Wow.
It's been around forever.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Longest running animated series.
I would imagine.
Is that it?
I would imagine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Homer's hilarious.
Yes, yes.
He's hilarious. One of my favorite little animated characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's part of our childhood and existence. Like, I mean, he's been around as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Which means that I can't remember that far back now, doesn't it?
Maybe. That's all right.
I have no recollection before 10 years old. That's a lie.
Is it?
It's a lie. Okay. That's not true.
All right.
All right. Next.
Number 5 on the list. Or I guess that's number 6 at the 5 o'clock.
At the 5 o'clock.
Yeah. It's the...
Because we did top of the hour first.
That's right. It's the time map from the movie Time Bandits, which I've never seen.
Me neither.
So we can't really say much about it, can we?
No. So this is where we're going to ask people that are listening that if you've seen Time Bandits...
Know anything about it.
And you want to have some kind of a clip or email, then there. This is where you can throw in your 2 cents.
Yeah.
Time Bandits.
We would certainly love your MP3 comments or even your emails that you can email us at.
TheRustedRobot@gmail.com.
That's right.
That's where they can send it.
Yes, they can.
Okay. So we don't know anything about Time
Bandits,
Bandits, but here it is on your shirt. And you know what? For the rest of the shirt, it was worth it. So there's a thing on there you don't know.
That's right.
What the heck?
There's a couple things, but that's okay.
What the heck? Next, it was one of my all-time favorites when I was a kid.
The telephone booth from Bill and Ted's
Excellent Adventure.
And it's kind of cool because they've got the TARDIS at the top and they've got the phone booth at the bottom.
And both travel through time.
That's right. And they're both similar things. They both have phones in them.
Well, one's stylish and British, and one's American and not so stylish.
Right.
It's not. It just looks like a phone booth with like an antenna on the top.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
I just like the TARDIS better.
Well,
I think it's slick looking.
Everybody likes the TARDIS.
It's slick looking.
Yeah.
So actually, how about in light of the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure phone booth, rather than us explaining what the movie is about, don't we have like a top 10 time travel movies clip that we could play?
We do. It's from WatchMojo.com.
Yeah, we're going to have the attached, we're going to link that in the show notes.
Yeah.
But let's listen to that, because it has a little bit of Bill and Ted's in it, obviously, because it's a time travel movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
They show us our mistakes and the promise of the future. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 best time travel movies ever made.
What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour!
Number 10, The Butterfly Effect. A college student discovers a way to relive portions of his troubled childhood. Attempting to alter painful events from earlier years, he soon discovers that even small alterations spiral out unpredictably, making the future worse with each trip. Number 9, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Bill and Ted won't graduate if they don't do well in their history presentation. This would be bogus and uncool if a time traveler hadn't come from the future in a telephone booth to help them.
Dudes, you guys are going to go back in time.
Yeah!
You are going to have the most excellent adventure through history.
Number 8, 12 Monkeys. Years in the future, criminals are sent through time to find the pieces of the puzzle that ended humanity. All signs point to the cause involving 12 monkeys, which leads James Cole to a shocking discovery. Number 7, Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. It's the 23rd century, and a mysterious alien power is threatening Earth by evaporating the oceans and destroying the atmosphere in a vain attempt to contact extinct ocean life. To save mankind, Kirk and his crew travel back in time by slingshotting around the sun. Arriving in 1986 San Francisco, they venture out into this inhospitable time period to retrieve humpback whales.
Admiral, there be whales here!
Number 6, Army of Darkness. Trapped in time, surrounded by evil, and low on gas, Bruce Campbell is blasted into the Dark Ages to fight an army of the undead and to retrieve the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead. A chainsaw in one hand and a boomstick in the other, this is one groovy adventure in the past.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick!
Number 5, Groundhog Day. As a tragic movie wrapped in a comedy, Bill Murray is forced to make the best of repeating the same day in a never-ending time loop. Eventually, he betters himself and manages to escape, but not before experiencing the day in every way imaginable.
Didn't we do this yesterday? I don't know what you mean. No! Don't mess with me, pork chop. What day is this?
It's February 2nd. Groundhog Day.
Number 4, Planet of the Apes. An astronaut is pulled into a space distortion and finds himself on a primitive planet ruled by intelligent apes. Shockingly, this isn't an alien world at all. It is Earth, centuries after an apocalyptic disaster.
You maniacs! You blew it up!
Number 3. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Taking what worked before, the first Terminator sequel gets the nod for addressing the questions of faith, destiny, and free will. Not only this, but it also showcases a spectacle that pitted Arnie's Terminator against an unstoppable liquid metal assassin, all while trying to save the future of mankind.
The future's not set. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
Number 2, The Time Machine. Based on the classic H.G. Wells novel, a Victorian Englishman travels to the far future to find that humanity has been divided into two opposing species called the Morlocks and the Eloi.
Why is it that we usually ignore the fourth dimension? Because we have no freedom of movement within it. You see, we can move in the other three. Up, down, forward, sideways, backward, as the doctor said. But when it comes to time, we are prisoners.
Number 1, Back to the Future. There's no question, the DeLorean is the coolest time machine ever created. 17-year-old Marty McFly inadvertently uses it to travel 30 years into the past. Searching for a younger version of his friend Doc Brown, Marty must find a way to return to his own time. However, this turns out to be the least of his problems, as he interrupts his parents' first meeting, and must get them together before he erases his own existence.
Whoa, this is heavy. There's that word again, heavy. Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Okay, so obviously they put the DeLorean at the number 1 slot.
Well, sure.
Best time travel movie, Back to the Future. Actually, I want to say that that's one of the first movies that I saw when I was a kid that had to do with time travel.
It's the best overall generic movie to appeal to the widest variety of people, I would say.
Really?
Well, yeah. Think about different time travel movies.
What's with the life preserver, kid?
Yeah, even ones that they didn't mention, like Time Cop. Not everybody's going to like Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I really hated Jean-Claude Van Damme.
See, right. But everybody likes Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, exactly.
It was good.
So
Biff and Marty McFly.
Yeah.
Fly! You know?
And it's a trilogy.
That's true. And a good one at that. Like, you know, where the second one was just as entertaining and the third one had a completely different twist. So
that's right.
I don't blame them for putting that in there as the number 1.
No.
So what do we got at the 7 o'clock spot on the Time Warp dial?
That would be The Guardian from the classic Star Trek TV series episode
titled
Can you name it?
City on the Edge of Forever.
That is correct. Epic episode.
Tell me about it.
It's on.
I'm all ears.
It's usually, if it's not in the top 1 or 2, it's in the top 5 of most people's favorite Star Trek episodes.
Really?
Yeah. It's got Edith Keeler, played by Joan Collins.
Okay.
Kirk and Spock and McCoy go back in time. And actually what happened was McCoy shot himself up with a drug and he went all crazy and changed some history so that Kirk and Spock had to go back in time because the Enterprise had disappeared from orbit and they had to find out what was wrong. So they go back and they end up in the 1930s Earth. And it's a long, complicated story. Mm-hmm. Really good. Mm-hmm. Harlan Ellison wrote it, actually. Mm-hmm. He's a big time author anyway, sci-fi and other things.
Okay.
And it was a big controversy because the episode, as he wrote it, was not the episode that was actually filmed because...
Oh.
Right. Because they couldn't have afforded to do it because they had it too detailed. And actually, they just came out with a comic. I think it's a 4-part comic that's coming out that has the original screenplay, exactly as he wrote it.
Oh, really?
So it'll be different from the episode.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Have we watched this one together? I don't think so, eh?
No.
Did
we watch A Voyage Home? We did, eh?
Yes, we've watched all of the movies except for Nemesis now. We've gotten that far.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Voyage Home, they go back in time.
They do.
They go back to Earth 85?
86 to get some humpback whales. George and Gracie.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. And Spock does too much LDS in the 60s.
Yes.
See, I remember that as a kid. Like, that was a line that we said in our house. Like, it was a joke. That was our inside joke. Like, my dad still says it to this day.
You guys do.
Too much LDS in the 60s.
Yeah.
It's a Star Trek thing.
Well, it was the movie that really got the widest variety of people to watch it.
Which is good. I mean, you want to expand the fan base.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
So.
No, some of my favorite movies are time travel movies, actually. So there you have it.
Well, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
You like your time travel stuff?
I do.
I think you like the concept of time travel. Like, you just like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
Yep. So
interesting. What do we got?
On the 8 o'clock?
On the 8 o'clock. What do we have?
The Time Machine from Hot Tub Time Machine.
What's a hot tub?
Well, it's a hot tub. Yeah, you're right.
It's all bubbly and stuff.
It is.
It looks like it has like a boardwalk around it.
Fantastic movie. Hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was super cute.
It was.
You know what? They took the time travel concept. It gets all kinds of viewership. Let's just turn it into something silly and zany with Hot Tub Time Machine.
That's right.
Hot Tub Time Machine?
Yeah, not necessarily a PG movie, but...
The title of it is Hot Tub Time Machine. No, it's not PG at all.
No. So don't watch it with your kids.
No, not recommended for children.
But it's hilarious, and it's got a lot of comedians in it. John Cusack's in it. That guy who looks like Jonah Hill's in it. Clark Duke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a few other people.
Yeah, but absolutely hilarious. Don't we have a short clip from that?
Actually, we do. Let's play a part of the trailer.
Watch out, here I come. What the hell happened last night? Is there some kind of retro thing going on this weekend?
There's something going on in here. Dude is rocking cassette player. Leg warmers. I'm sure there's a good explanation for all this. Jerry girl! Excuse me, miss. What color is Michael Jackson?
Black?
Winterfest 86!
I don't understand how we back in time.
I'm so scared.
Must be some kind of hot tub time machine.
So Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
Hot Tub Time Machine. What year did they went back to 1986?
1986, the same year as the Enterprise crew went back to.
And Marty McFly left 1985.
So a lot of time traveling happened in the 80s.
Mid-80s.
Yeah.
Really big time, the hub of time travel happening
right.
around 84 to 86.
Right.
So maybe that would be a time to go to. Like at this point, if you ended up having like any number of these time traveling devices, maybe that's where we should go.
Right.
Maybe that it's all, a message that they're sending out there that you need to go back to the mid-80s. Everybody, let's all meet up at the mid-80s.
That's a good idea.
Right. So
Right.
let's keep that in mind when we get our time machine, right?
When are we getting a time machine?
I'm not sure.
Are we going to build one?
Well, like the time machine and put it in the front lawn with the TARDIS and our robot we're going to build eventually? Is that where we're putting this time machine?
I think we could do that.
Could we?
I don't see why not.
Okay, so let's move on. What's at the 9 o'clock spot?
Well, that would be the time tunnel from the 60s series, The Time Tunnel. And actually on the website for T-Fury, there was a lot of debate on actually what that was. Because some people thought it looked like a Stargate. Some people thought it looked like the time machine from Austin Powers.
It is a time machine from Austin Powers. I'm sorry, that's my argument, and I'll tell you why that's my argument.
Okay.
Because on the shirt, if you were to go look at the Time Warp shirt on T-Fury, there's, there's a tall figure looking going through, but there's a mini-me. And I know your argument is that there's a guy way ahead in the tunnel. That's a mini-me.
Well, it looks like it. You're right. But I think they were spoofing the time tunnel because it's the same kind of...
well, of course. Austin Powers movies are spoof movies. That's what they do.
Sure, but with the what would you call that in the middle? You know the thing when you look on the computer screen and it goes around in circles and then you look at that for 60 seconds and then you look away and everything else is all wobbly?
It's like swirly.
Yeah, like a swirl.
Yeah, but you find like the middle of the shirt that the dial is on, that's exactly like the pattern that they took because it's a continuum. It seems to go on forever.
Yeah.
Right? The closer you moved into it, the further it moves. Anyways, you get the idea.
That's right.
That right there, that's from Austin Powers. Because it's a mini-me. Explain the little guy.
Well, he's further down the tunnel than the other guy. So maybe they did it both ways. They could have, because it's also got the symbols around the edges like a Stargate as well. So maybe that's a mashup.
No, because that's exactly what the Austin Powers one did. Is he mashed them up,
right. Like
the Stargate thing around the edges.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a short clip for the time tunnel. Let's take a quick listen to that.
Deep in an underground labyrinth is a fantastic invention which cost billions of dollars, a time tunnel. But what does it cost a man to face the incredible dangers of the past or the unknown secrets of the future?
Yeah, so that was Time Tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, we could have put that on our canceled TV shows episode. What was that, number 29?
Terminated.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it
Where
only...
we crashed the book bin.
Right. It only got one season. But I've seen a few episodes back in the day, and it was good. It had James Darren as one of the stars.
Hmm.
And, of course, we know him as Vic Fontaine from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he's in there in the sci-fi. Like, he knows what he's doing.
That's right.
He's no rookie.
No.
Right?
And quite a singer, too, I might add.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How lovely.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just take a look at this Austin Powers time travel device. I need to ask you something.
All right.
Does a Stargate travel through time?
I haven't seen enough Stargate to actually know.
Okay, but to your knowledge, you don't know. You say your official answer is I don't know.
Well, I was reading the comments on T-Fury, and somebody said that there was an episode where they used it to travel through time, but I'm not familiar enough with Stargate to know.
Maybe that's why Austin Powers mashed them up. Maybe Austin Powers mashed them up.
Entirely possible.
Which is why this shirt decided to go with the Austin Powers version and put a mini-me in it. I'm really, ruthless, eh?
You are.
I'm hard-headed. I'm a hard-headed person.
Yeah?
Yeah.
True.
I know.
Uh-huh.
I know. I apologize for that.
Well, that's all good.
Okay. Actually, didn't we take, just a cute little quick clip of Dr. Evil's time tunnel?
Did we?
Of course we did. Let's take a listen.
I'm going to go back to the 60s and steal Austin Powers' Jerry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to travel through time. I bid you adieu.
Okay, so
I don't know.
So that's that. We should move on.
Yeah.
We should move on.
Yeah.
What do we have next? What is that? What hour slot is that? 10 o'clock?
This here?
That's the 10 o'clock?
That's, 10 o'clock. It's the Time Turner from the Harry Potter series.
I don't know what that is. I watched, the first Harry Potter. That's about it.
I know it's in one of the later movies.
Okay.
And he goes back in time to talk to some dude.
Okay.
I think.
Gotcha.
But
some dude.
Well, I haven't read the books. And I watched all 8 movies over a 3-week span.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a marathon.
Yeah, that was about, 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And I really didn't know what was going on because I hadn't read the books.
Okay.
And I seemed to be missing something the whole time, so...
You felt like you were missing something.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't connect with something that must have been in the books.
Right.
There's got to be something in these books.
Exactly.
Hey?
And I just hadn't read the books, and I still haven't, so...
So you were, out of the Vanderloop.
I was out of the Vanderloop.
Oh.
Yeah, it was very sad. So...
There you have it.
Yeah, that's
that's a nice thing to include, though. It made the shirt a very nice...
It's got a lot of different genres.
Right, it covers a big, broad scope.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
That's right.
Now, 11 o'clock slot, which is our last slot, because we started at the top of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
TARDIS always gets first shout out. Come on, let's be serious.
That's right.
What's at the 11 o'clock slot?
It's the ultimate. It's the time sphere from Terminator with Arnold in the middle.
Naked.
Well,
it's just an outline of his naked body.
That's right.
Because isn't T-Fury shirts, have a maximum of colors that they can use, which in this case is a white, gray, dark gray, and blue?
Yeah, I think the limit is 4.
Or something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
So, that's because of the amount of screens that they have to go through.
That's right.
So, it's actually really well done. You can tell that it's, you have to know that it's Arnold in there, and...
That's right.
It's how he enters the world, right?
Yeah.
Isn't the asphalt always, messed up underneath?
Right, because he comes back in the sphere, and whatever happens...
Why does it mess up the ground underneath, though?
Because,
it's so heavy.
No, because...
This is circular round ball of heaviness.
And when it took out the dump truck or the garbage truck or whatever that was, too, took a corner out of that.
Why? The energy mass it does?
That's right. It's the time sphere. And
that's what it does.
It displaces the area. So whatever is in that area gets obliterated. And
to make room for
the new time.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's probably the safest way to time travel. Because I always wondered, in the time machine...
Yeah.
Because the machine doesn't move around, it just goes through time.
That's right.
Right, so the ground and the vegetation and everything grows up around it. That, who knows, in 8,000 years, there could be a mountain there.
Then that's what they showed in the actual movie, The Time Machine.
Right.
Yeah, it gets built up around him over time, but he's going through time, so he's not really in that space, so he survives.
Interesting.
Yeah. So,
interesting.
The first 2 Terminator movies... Probably the best ones. Number 1 is excellent. Number 2 is even more excellent, I think.
Well, it went off the charts. I mean, if people think about Terminator, they think of Terminator 2.
That's right.
For whatever, the sequel surpassed the first one by far in popularity.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Which rarely happens, but in the case of Terminator, there you have it.
And then 3 and 4 we don't talk about too much.
No, I know.
They were okay, but they don't match.
All right, now what do you think it is? Do you think it's the coolness of like the Liquid Men?
The T-1000?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Those effects still hold up today.
When you think about it.
1991 that came out.
Jeez. I mean, that's fantastic effects for back then.
23 years ago.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There was no strings and stuff.
No.
So people were like, whoa, they just chopped that guy in half.
Right.
You know, when
Yeah.
he was all like chopped in half.
I'm sure they could do the effects even better now, but still, they're fantastic.
Oh, probably. Well, they can do anything. It's all computer generated. So if you can think it and put it in a 3D kind of world, you can create it on screen. I mean, it's
That's
just
right.
as simple.
That's right.
It's a matter of your budget, I suppose, for the movie.
Yeah. And I like that that's on there because, of course, the Terminator is a robot, and we end off with a robot time traveler.
Oh my goodness, robot time traveler.
Right. And did you know they're working on Terminator 5, Terminator Genesis?
Is Arnold supposed to be in it?
And he's supposed to be in it.
How old is that guy now?
He's in his late 60s.
Mind you, he was what, Mr. Universe or something like that? Or
I think him and Lou Ferrigno traded off.
he was some bodybuilding expert and all that stuff.
That's right.
My mom bought his book when we were teenagers.
Oh, yeah?
And she thought my brother's kid, like, if you guys want to know how to exercise properly, Arnold must be the one to know. So,
oh, well, there you go.
I think she found it at a secondhand store, actually.
Cool.
Now, in light of the whole time traveling theme, what do we have?
Well, we don't normally talk too much about books on the podcast,
No, I know.
but there's a couple I wanted to mention.
Except for when we talk to authors. Go figure.
You're right about that, aren't
So
you?
there's one you wanted to mention.
Well, there's a couple, but a few, I guess maybe 6 months ago now, when we were at the book bin, I was looking through the books, and they sell their hardcover books for $2 because they specialize in paperback. And you'll never guess what I found.
What did you find?
I found 11/22/63 from Stephen King. It's a time travel book where a guy goes back in time, something to do with the JFK assassination. I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
It's in my to read pile. Everywhere.
Our piles are getting huge.
They are.
Right.
They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of time travel books, I'm finally on book 4 of Stephen Baxter's Time Tapestry series.
Nice.
Yeah. So just started that one. Got through the other one just last week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's taken a while.
Mm-hmm.
Taken some time, you could say.
You see what you did there?
Yes.
We've been doing that a lot lately.
We have. Yeah. So the Stephen King book just came out 2 or 3 years ago, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to that. And another book that you and I both read, which is fantastic, is a book called Q.
Q
by an author named, I'm not sure how you say his last name.
Evan Mandery, I think.
Evan is his first name. Mandery? I guess that's how you'd say it.
Evan Mandery.
Mandery.
But didn't he name a lot of his books after
Star Trek stuff?
Yeah.
Well, one of his books is called First Contact.
Okay.
Or It's Later Than You Think. And the one that we read is called Q.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's fantastic. Now, came out in August 2011, and I read about it on the website IO9. And I was like, you know what? That sounds really interesting.
Oh, right.
I'll go buy that.
Yeah.
So, quick summary. It is a story based on time travel where the unnamed protagonist is visited by his future self and advised not to marry the love of his life. So that's a short thing, but he keeps getting visited over and over again by different versions of his future self based on whatever
decision he makes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So sometimes they say, don't marry her, and so he doesn't, and so another future self comes back and says, no, you should have married her, or you should have married this person, or you should have taken this job, or you should have done that.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It really was.
It was a really easy read.
Yeah.
And just entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
The whole way.
A lot of Star Trek references in it.
You can tell he's a fan.
Yeah.
You really can.
Did we buy First Contact? I don't know if we did.
Oh, yeah, we have it.
Do we?
For sure.
That's in the to read pile too?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're way behind.
Well, at the same time, we have this ginormous bookcase we want to build on our second floor, which would replace a wall. So our books are all in totes and stuff, waiting to get put in our wall bookshelf, I suppose. That's how we're going to hold up the ceiling, is with a wall of books.
It'll work. I think we'd need 2 walls like that. We've got a lot of books. I've been collecting since 1995 when I decided that I needed to have a library because that was the cultured thing to do.
Like with the ladder that slides. I always wanted one with a ladder that slides. Like
Right.
it just went so...
I don't have that many books.
No.
But nobody told me when I started collecting books that I was going to move about 40 times and that they're heavy.
Nobody told you that?
No.
That's terrible.
I know.
That's terrible.
I didn't realize I was going to move that many times.
You need to change your circle of friends.
You're right. Well, I have several times now. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but we definitely have First Contact's yellow.
Yes, it is. First Contact. Actually.
I ordered both at the same time.
Did we?
I did.
Yeah.
I ordered both at the same time. Q and First Contact. That's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably in the pile to read. I'll just have to dig that out.
What is that called? It's not perfectionist. It's where it has to be, it's completist? Is that what
Completist. Yes. Yes, because when I first started collecting action figures from the Star Trek series back in 92 or 93, I wanted to be a completist, but they kept coming out with more series of them, and I could never keep up.
No, you could never be into sci-fi stuff and be a completist. It's impossible.
No, I was in high school, so I didn't have a job at the time.
We'd have to start a museum.
Right, because they came out with Series 1, and then Series 2, and then Deep Space Nine, and then Voyager, and then the Warp Factor series, and then special edition one-offs that you could only get for mail away.
Yeah.
So it's too much sometimes, and you just can't keep up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, because there's all kinds of figurines, and the more that you look at your websites for toys, the worse it gets. I can't look at it.
No, I've had to cut right back.
Not even to look.
Right.
Because of the temptation.
That's it.
I'm really looking forward to my nerd block, though.
When's that coming out?
Soon. I think it's soon. I think it's the 15th.
Okay.
The 15th,
right.
Perhaps. And then there's a mega block. Every month there's a mega block that... they throw in all of the subscribers, and then it's a lucky draw where one of the subscribers gets their nerd block, but they also get a mega block, which is like a huge prize pack. I think this month is an Xbox One, Stormtrooper helmet.
Nice.
All kinds of stuff.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. But still, I'm still looking forward to my nerd block.
I guess so.
I guess I got a couple weeks to wait, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. After that, it's only going to be once a month. But then you'll get your ship of the month.
Actually, I think my ship of the month should be coming out soon.
Any day now.
Because I think I got the last one June 15th, right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And what are we today? We're the
9th.
We're the 9th. And this episode, of course, is coming out on Friday because we're going camping. So it's going to be a little bit early. So
it's coming out on the 11th.
It's coming out on the 11th, which is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday after work, I'm going to upload it to the site.
Before you have a risk night and I go camping.
Yeah, you're going camping Friday night, and then with Elise, and then I'm going to have risk night with her husband Mark, and then we're going to head out on Saturday to the camp. Hopefully it doesn't rain.
Even if it does, actually, we've got like a little marathon of movies planned.
Yeah, what are we watching if it rains? We got
Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes and the Beverly Hills Cop series?
Yes. Well, because Friday night I don't think that we're going to do a whole bunch but watch movies. So I wanted to watch all Will Ferrell movies because I think he's hilarious. You guys are weird because you think he's not. I think he's a comedic genius.
Right.
When you scrape the bottom of the barrel, you get a Will Ferrell.
Okay.
That's what you get.
Right.
No. I think he's absolutely hilarious. So I wanted to bring all these movies and stuff. I don't have the majority of these movies anymore. I left them all in Oshawa. So I have like a small fraction of them. But what did we find? The Other Guys.
Yeah.
We found The Other Guys, which is, I really like that one. Land of the Lost, I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Elf, I think, is hilarious.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find Land of the Lost for the life of me. Which sucks.
Yeah.
Because I really liked that movie. What else did we get?
We got Due
Due Date.
And I finally bought
It's not PG at all.
No. And I finally bought director's cut of Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's not too bad.
No. Well, speaking of collectibles, we're going to preview another collectible after a promo that we're going to play.
Tune in to the Con Guys Show. Con as in Comic-Con. We are Hollywood filmmakers and superfans who cover all the news of the con universe, including the films, the TV shows, the streaming series, the experiences, and the events that fuel your fandom. If you'd find it at Comic-Con, then you'll find it here. Now in our 7th year, the Con Guys Show is a proud member of the ESO Network.
So collectible of the week is
the TARDIS collection that
the
we have.
TARDIS collection
Just
we have.
Just the random Doctor Who stuff we have.
Well, specifically the TARDIS.
Because none of them could really be considered a collectible profile on their own. But as a whole...
Because they're like a lot of like little trinkets.
Yeah. Tchotchkes?
Little trinkets.
Right.
So, what do we have? Each of our cars has a license plate holder that says my other car is a TARDIS.
Right.
Yeah, this gets confusing because my other car is your car and your other car is my car. So wouldn't it be like our other car is a TARDIS?
Yeah.
And then we're actually going to put a TARDIS in the front lawn.
If we ever get around to building it.
It's the TARDIS project. We're going to do it.
Well, we've talked about it since last year.
We will. I have faith in us.
Should we do the renos to the house first?
That's exactly it. It
Is that
fix
what
up your house before you build something outside.
Right.
It's just a box to hold your shovel.
Not nearly as much fun.
Not nearly as much fun.
No.
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 Much more wise, I suppose.
I guess so.
All right. Next, I have a Sound and Lights plushie in my rearview mirror.
Hanging on your mirror?
Yeah.
I
my
actually
car.
have a Doctor Who plushie hanging off my mirror, but it's
Not. There's no lights, but there's sound.
it's a Dalek.
It is.
And with 3 different sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yours is the actual TARDIS.
Mine's the TARDIS and makes the TARDIS sound.
Yeah.
I've-
And the tip lights up?
Yeah, there's a light in it that lights
Yeah.
up. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've noticed.
Well, right, that's because you're too busy looking at the 50th anniversary bauble that I have on the dash. Because I used to have a hula dancer.
Yes.
And I loved the idea of having a hula dancer on my dash. And suddenly we totally dove into Doctor Who. And I couldn't get enough of the TARDIS. I wanted it everywhere. So I put both the plushie and the bauble.
It's gray. It's not blue.
It's silver.
Silver, yes.
Because silver is for 50 years.
Silver anniversary, right?
Yeah.
That's why they did that.
Yes.
Because they're a bunch of clever guys.
Look at them clever chaps.
Right.
All right, what else do we have?
Well, we talked all about the door sticker.
Oh, it's so spectacular.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel like our house because I can't believe it's so nice.
Right.
So nice. We did do an entire collectible on that, though.
That's true. That's true.
That's because it's fantastic.
The TARDIS mug you got me.
Yes. Which, okay, super cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
However, impossible to drink out of.
Well, it's square.
It's square.
It does have a lid, though, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, you can like stash goodies in it and stuff like that.
I think we use it for our allergy pills.
We have our allergy pills.
Right, because I've tried drinking out of it. I have tried drinking out of it several times.
On the corner.
It's not very comfortable to drink out of.
Well, not out of the corner, and then you try and drink out of the sides. But like, there's a reason why mugs are round. Like,
yeah,
you don't drink sideways. You just mouth it. Drips over the sides. It's not pleasant.
No.
It's super pretty.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it is very, very cool.
That's right.
And then there's something new that we just received. Was it yesterday? Did we get that?
Monday.
Oh, so I went on Etsy, which is like individual people who do these and they sell them type idea. I wanted a TARDIS mug from Etsy that had all that wobbly, timey-wimey.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey?
Yeah.
That one?
Stuff on it, that whole rant on it with the TARDIS. They were super cute, but there was none available at the time. And so I found this propaganda poster that says I travel by TARDIS. Like, it would be something, if that whole thing existed, you would go into a travel agency and they would have that on the wall, travel your next adventure by TARDIS.
Okay.
Type thing.
Yeah.
So it's something to look into it if you're super into the TARDIS.
It's really cool, 11 by 17.
Yeah, now we just need to get a frame for it and put it with our Battlestar Galactica propaganda posters, I think.
That's right.
Either that or in the kitchen. We'll find a spot.
We will.
They'll just go with our stuff, and that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So that's our TARDIS collection. It's not huge.
No, but it's just starting.
Oh, yeah, we've only started since last November, so less than a year.
Yeah.
And we still have other stuff to collect, and we just don't focus all our attention on one thing.
Well, that's right.
I don't think you and I could ever do that.
I've tried. It just doesn't happen. That's how I started collecting Star Wars stuff, because they stopped making Star Trek for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'd be like me only concentrating on getting, like, Catwoman statues and stuff.
That's true.
You know? That doesn't happen. That's why I need Nerdblock. I need them to tell me what I want. You tell me what I want. There's too much at this point.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.